Howdy folks. In today's video, we're back in Railroader, East Whittier Logging Company, and I'm making some changes. I've been kind of wanting to play this, but I've been waiting on the Maintenance of Way update. That's taken forever, so we're just going to make another video, and I'm going to play with some terrains. But what I've done is I've turned off the contracts. I'm going to go basically just sawmill. So I had all the stuff down in Silva, and I've gone and I've set those all to terminate contract, which is going to cost me thousands of dollars. That's fine. Money's easy to make. So I'm not sure what that means exactly for all these cars I have. I don't remember if I can sell those. I'm forgetting they made it backspace to close the windows. Let's take a look at this car. It says pending delivery, but that's because it's set for load and unload. So since I'm canceling the contract, I'm going to say none. And I thought maybe you could, yeah, you can sell them. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. So we can actually sell all these cars. Fun. So if I set that to Silva Interchange, and then is there not a, I guess there's not a button to do that for everything, unfortunately. I can do this to copy the waybills so they're not set to go anywhere anymore, maybe? Load and unload. Yeah, that didn't seem to work for some reason. Because that was set. Or did I click the wrong button? No, copy automatic waybill to coupled cars. Let's figure this out live. I did set it to none. Interesting. I guess it doesn't reset the destination though, for some reason. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll just set this to Silva. And we'll go back to, yeah, cell destination. Silva. Here we go. I guess I have to go through and set each one of these manually. So if we control click on them, we can get their thing up. There we go. Yeah, it did copy the waybill. So there is that. What's this middle one do? Also their windows just a little bit unsized. Flip this, oh yeah, or flip it to the other way. Gotcha. Oh, so that'll just cycle it back to none. That doesn't, strange. Yeah, seems like there might be a little bit of a bug there. It says copied, but it doesn't flip the waybill on anything. Okay. That's fine. We can keep rolling down through here and just set the cell destination, and then that updates it. So we're going to have a big sell-off, basically. I want to sell this whole string of cars. There we go. Yeah, we can take those over to Silva Interchange. And I've got all these. I don't know if I can deliver this like tomorrow when the contract's terminated. I wouldn't think that would work, but I'm kind of curious. All right, now these are not hooked to anything. I want to go to operations. I'm going to set none and none. Turn that back on. I'm going to say copy auto waybills to coupled. And then flip this car, and it says flip this car's waybill and those it is coupled to which match to the other automatic waybill destination. Maybe it doesn't copy because the destination is none. That's my theory. Fair enough. All right, we're also going to go sell all of these. There's just a whole lot of clicking needs to happen here. Too bad. In case I didn't make it clear, I'm holding down left control, and then I click on that. That brings up this window for the whatever rolling stock you're clicking on. You can also hit backspace to close that, and you can... You could hold down something on here. Maybe that's only if you're in... No? Okay. I thought you could hold down something and get a circle menu. All right, now all those can be sold as well. So let's get Al going here. Good old Albert Inman, the AI. So Control G, I'm going to click there. I've got him set to Automatic Engineer Waypoint mode. In case there's people here new, not familiar with Railroader. You can drive all the stuff yourself as well. I tend to play it more as a conductor, and I tell the engineer what I want him to do. So he's going to pull down there. He'll even line the switches himself, and he'll come back here and couple onto this. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to hit that car. It might be a little iffy. Yeah, it's looking pretty tight, isn't it? I'm going to set him, when he gets there, I'm going to set him to like 5 miles an hour. And we'll see if he can squeeze past there. There he goes. Let's set him to 5. This sets his maximum speed. All right, he's going to come on back. According to his whistle signal. And he has lined the switches. That might just squeeze by. If it's looking like disaster's going to hit. In fact, I can even teleport myself here to see how bad this is going to be. All right. Engine number 1 is our passenger train, so I need to go get him going here in a second. I'm going to stand by on the stop button. Kind of looks like they're flipping into each other, and maybe they're happy about that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go ahead and do this over in manual mode. Whoa. Yeah, it looks like it's going to clip enough that it doesn't matter. Nice. There's a way to hop on here. I don't remember how to do that. It's been a long time since I played. I'm going to have to go look up the key. Input. Bindings. Move, run, lean in place, toggle, query. Jump to mouse. Yeah, lean left, replace, reset. Equipment. Whistle, horn, headlight, re-rail, push. I know there's a way to hop on there. I used to do it all the time. But I'm not seeing it in here. Interesting. All right, we'll close that. Well, it does look like he's going to be able to do that fine. So let's have him take back over. I'm going to put him back on waypoint mode. I'm going to run down here. Tell him to couple up to that cut of cars. That's interesting. I know there's a button you could push to hop on here. I thought it was F. I thought you could just hop on there. E? No? I don't know. I know there's a way to grab on there. I think you got there, Al. Good job. Another little tip. If you hold down shift when you click on these, it'll also turn the ankle cocks. You're all good to go. We do have a handbrake on here. I know there's a menu for the cars, but I've suddenly forgot how to play the game. It's been a while. UI, close, toggle, context menu. Oh, it is Z. Okay. There we go. Release handbrake. For some reason, I thought it was right mouse button. All right, we're going to have him come on out of here. Oh, you just walk up to it. Okay. Got it. That does hop you on there. Okay, we're good. I had to go to third person. Yeah, you just walk up to it. All right, fair enough. So I'm going to go put my dude on the rear car here. I'm a really fast runner. So, yeah, you just walk. Okay, so that little jump is him getting on. Got it. The animation could use some work, but that's okay. All right, we need you to go to Silva Interchange. So let me get him started, and I'm going to limit him at the moment to 15. I'm going to tell him to go here. So he'll at least get started down where he needs to go. Do I have any cars at the interchange? Oh, I do have cars at the interchange. Okay. I've got some stuff here that looks like it needs delivered as well. So this is going to be a little tricky. I have to pull those. I'm going to have to hook up to these, push them on through, and I can come back out around them, leaving the other cars on the track. That's doable. All right, we'll let you go up to 25, bud. While he's doing that, let's go check in with engine number 1, who is patiently waiting here on the Connolly Y to get turned back around and headed for... Oh, shoot, I've got this in the way. I haven't played this in a while, and I kind of lost track of everything. All right, we're going to have to hop into engine number 5. He's also on waypoint mode. How are you doing on the unloads? You were not done yet. All right, that's fine. Apply the handbrake. I'm going to shift click on that, which will also set the angle cocks. Then I need you, good sir, to... Yeah, we'll put the MDs on the end of this string. We've got some work cut out for us. How are you doing on... You're good on coal and water. How's number 1 doing? Just perfect. I don't know that it says anywhere on here how they're doing. But he's got plenty as well. So I'm going to be running multiple trains at once here. I'm kind of the overseer of everything. So bear with me. And I need to get back selected to number 6. So when you select this box here, that determines which train you're giving commands to. So we'll get them hooked on. Oops, that's the wrong button. That's not what I wanted to do at all. So I need to fix that. I'm going to go back to manual mode. I have to go in reverse. I have to couple back up to that. I meant to shift on the angle cocks. All right, now we'll put you back on waypoint mode. Limit you to 25. I'll click on the right thing. Then we need these guys to release our handbrakes. Then we should be good to go. Let's make sure our ankle cock is closed down at this end. It is. Beautiful. Now we need to bring this train down to here. So since you're in the yard, we're going to limit you to 15. So he's going to push on ahead. On ahead? No, on ahead. And meanwhile, we're going to jump back over to number 5. Hopefully this isn't too confusing to everybody. He's now hooked onto this string of log cars. Grab that, and we release that handbrake. And then he's going to come over here. Let's get him started. He's going to come over here and grab this empty string, get it out of the way of the passenger train. There we go. Then once we grab those empties, we'll just pull back in here in the siding and let them go about their way. So let's get the switches set up for that. Should be all good down through here. Excellent. Meanwhile, the sawmill is continuing to offload logs. Are you full yet? You're not full yet. We've got all but one boxcar full on that string, and these guys are still getting loaded up. So like I said earlier, you can drive all the trains yourself with the controls, even in the cab if you want to, by clicking on stuff. But I tend to just play as a conductor and orchestrate lots of things happening at the same time. That's the way I like to play. But I could hit, I think it's, is it Control 0? Yeah. That puts me right in the engineer seat. Then if you wanted to, you could be controlling all this by clicking on it and whatnot. Stuff like that. You can play it that way. You can play it in third person by, manipulate the controls like I was. You can also have the auto engineer do various things. So we need to hook onto these empties. We need to release that handbrake. And he's good to pull all the way back into here. I don't know how far he needs to come back in here. Let's tell him to go here. Half a mile. Back up half a mile, sir. And then I'm going to tell the passenger train to go to Silva. And then he should figure everything out. So I want to come back. I want to go down here. So I'm going to teleport myself down to there. So, and then I want to go select engine number 1. Yes, on waypoint mode, which is fine. And I'm going to say, come down to here. And he'll do that. He's got a little bit of clearance, so he's going to start heading out. He should throw the switch. And then he'll be mindful of that train that's ahead of him. Should throw the switch. Train? What are you doing? No, I didn't want you to back up. Oh boy. Stop. No, don't go that way. Alright, we'll have to redo that. I don't know why he chose to go that direction. Maybe because maybe I need to throw the switch since it's a Y. He just was confused. Alright, number 5, you can stop. You're good to go. You can stop right there. I saw number 6 was ready, so let's bop back down there. He's at the Silva interchange. And are you past? You are. Perfect. That works out nicely. Gotta get the camera under control here. So we're going to say throw on a handbrake. Throw on 2 for good measure. And then I'm going to shift click on that. Uncouple. And this stuff needs to get delivered today, I guess, even though we've canceled the contract. I guess since it's still today, it's 4:53. Still wants this stuff delivered to the tannery, and the rest is going to paperboard. we'll take those cars, I guess. Now, if I tell number 6 to come over here, he should, if I turn on tab, it'll show you where he's going to go. So he's going to go here, reverse over to here. That's what I'm expecting, so that is good. And then he's going to need to go to Parsons Tannery, but we're probably going to have to run around those cars. Yeah, we're going to have to run around those cars. And then there's other cars in the way, so that's less than ideal. I'm going to have to figure out his switching moves. I'm not exactly sure what I need to do with him. But for now, I'm going to tell him to come up here. That's fine. He can go up to 25. Meanwhile, we're going to hit back over to number 5. He's in the clear. We should have... Yeah, number 1 is back on the Y. It's confusing the crap out of the game. All right, now he has switched that way for some reason now. I want you to go here. Just make sure he's going the right direction. My passenger train, it runs, you know, engine forward between Silva and Ella. So it comes up here to Ella, then it backs up from Ella to the Y here at Whittier and then turns around. That's what we're doing right now. We're turning around and heading back to Silva. All right, you are good. Let's give you another waypoint so you'll keep going. Then I need to give you a waypoint down here at Silva again. So number 1, you are going there. I hope. The R key brings up the engine roster. That's super handy. Lets me bop around between all the different things. All right, you are off. Number 5 is good for now. He's out of the way. Let's check back in with number 6. I guess we'll do it. Let's do a roll by here. Number 1 steams on down the line. Get a nice little cinematic. Here she goes. That is the Sawdust Special. I don't know if you could see that as the train went by. It's a little hard to see, probably. It's the Sawdust Special. There he goes. All right. Engine number 6. Coming back to you, sir. All right, he's chugging up through here. Now, we got a little bit of work to figure out where these are going. If you hover over it, it'll show you. So that's SP1. That's fine. We can do that. S1 is over there. And then PW1 is... Not sure where PW1 is. Oh, that's the power, so that's going to be around by there. Okay. Well, we can do the tannery. Let's do that. That's just that first car. And that one's coming out. Got it. We can do that. Where's your handbrake, good sir? There it is. Apply handbrake. Am I off the main? I am off the main even. A little shift click there. And then this guy needs to just needs to run around behind to here. Since he's switching, I'm going to limit him to 15. So we're going to pull back here. We're going to hook onto that. We're going to push this Silva interchange-bound car out onto this, and then back the other cars back into the siding. Run around, push that back out. Have that done. And then you are going over there. So you're going to need to be on the other side of the engine at some point. Same with these 3. Are these empties coming out? Yeah, those are empties coming out. Now, strangely, this track, I think it's because of the elevation change. This track doesn't hook up to anything. That would make switching this way easier. It does not hook up to that, unfortunately. So we're going to have to do a lot of shenanigans here. Get things where they need to go. Be a little bit of a chore. So I hope you like switching. I don't know if I'll get this all done in this video or not. Depends on how long it turns into. Alright, we'll hook you up. We have a handbrake on. We'll move that. Just need you to pull that car out onto here. That is released. I can do that. Once he gets a little bit of speed on. Oh, he got confused because I uncoupled. I forgot you can't do that with the automatic engineer. Gets confused. We'll see if this has enough momentum to make it out onto the line. I need to do those manually when you're shoving like that. Doing fancy stuff. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it. And we may have to pull that off the switch. We can do that. All right, let's come up here. Go ahead in that direction. I think it's going to maybe clear it. Get up here in first person. So you can just come up here and I think it's Shift R. You can push on the car. It's like you have a pole to move it. There we go. Nailed it. Right, Al, I need you to come over here and grab this car. Be on our way. Put my little dude on there. So this boxcar is pretty close. He's got his hands sort of on the grab rail and his foot sort of on the stirrup. You getting everything figured out here, Al? Yeah, he's getting everything figured out. Cool. We can look at our map and see where our pasture train is. He's stopping at Wilmot right now, so he's all good. Coming on down the line. So you're going to Silva. You guys are not ready to go to Silva yet. So we're gonna have to move these cars temporarily, even though they're getting loaded. There's just never enough tracks to do what you want to do. Hook those glad hands up. Then I need you to come over here and hook onto these guys. These are empties coming out. So we're going to have to come in here, shove those out, hook onto these guys, come back around, and then shove these back into place. And then at some point we're going to have to run around this part of the train, which you can use this track here for. Maybe I should go ahead and pull this up here and leave it. We could run back around. Because these, no, I need to be, no, that's not going to work because I do need those. That side of the end. I'm just solving this out loud in real time. The problem is we have just enough lead here for like the 3 hoppers and an engine. We can't have any extra cars with us when we come up here. But I can bring the hoppers. Wait, where are you going? What are you doing? Oh, I thought you were on the other track. I'm sorry, Al. You're doing what you're told. I need to change your orders, though. I need to bring the hoppers with me. Right? So I could bring the hoppers with me, and then I could... No, I'm not going to have enough room to... I don't have a way to run those around. I'm just mentally working through this. Well, I could have all the other cars and shove them into there. Might actually work if I leave these loaded hoppers here. I think I can make that work. I think. Put the handbrake on. Pull that pin. So right now we're just running switcher number 6, and we have the passenger train going. Let's calm down a little bit. Thank you, Al. I'm going to hop in that seat. So now my character is sitting in like the fireman seat there. Gotta get some air in here so we can pull on out of here. Who has their handbrake on? You both have your... No, you don't have your handbrake on. Oh, I'm looking at it backwards. Yeah, that's the 2 cars. Okay, Al, now you can come over and hook onto here. Actually, I want to leave those hoppers here, so come over to like here. One handbrake is applied. Is it? Oh, it recoupled to this, didn't it? That's why it's confused. Gotta pull that pin again. There we go. I pulled the pin, but when he bumped into it, it set it again. Like, I know there's a handbrake applied on that one. Alright, we'll get camera view locked onto there. Just lock onto the end. So we'll leave these 3 loaded hoppers here because they have to go back behind there on the power plant. I have a plan in mind. We'll see if it works out. I didn't quite get it. There we go. All right, Al, you can go on over to there where you get completely stopped. We'll just leave those there. And we have to move these out of the way so I can use this runaround track. Grab those guys. Beautiful. Release that. Some air in these cars. Now I need you to come over and hook on to this cut right here. What's our passenger train doing? He is coming past Barker's and about halfway to Dillsboro. Nice. That'll be his last run of the day. Basically, each day I run out to Ella and back on the passenger train. Could do more, but that's what I typically do. Now I could try, I don't remember if it's called a Dutch drop, or I could try to coast those back into this track. We could try that for fun. I need to hook up to these first, and then I'd have to back up again. So I don't know if it's really worth it. Probably not really worth it. It doesn't really save us any time. It'd be fun, but it doesn't really save us anything. And if I mess it up, it just adds to the time. All right, we can see from the purple that has its handbrake on. And you can bleed the brakes, stuff like that. You want to get all fancy. All right, come on around through here. And then, well, actually, I have this as a runaround track, don't I? No, don't come around through there. Come through here. Set that before he gets confused. We could test the logic. So if I tell you to come couple onto here. Yeah, he figured it out. Cool. He's coming through here. Yeah, I forgot I had this as a runaround track as well. So we can get all these out of the way. Then I can run back up and I can hook onto these three, shove those two in place, run back around, get these three hoppers at the power plant, and we're golden. Could probably be done in less moves, but I think that'll work. Even when he's driving, I can toot the whistle. Turn the bell on. Bell's kind of hard to hear. All right, we got these two behind us, so I have to shove this forward a little bit. Also just click on the hand wheel itself to undo the brakes. Down a little further. Well, actually, you're clear. You're fine. All good. I need to come back through here. I was thinking that wasn't clear the switch, but it was. Then once you're through there, I'll tell you to hook onto the cars and you'll figure it out. The automatic engineer is pretty darn good. I love it. Didn't used to have that in the game. Then they added like a waypoint mode, or sorry, the road and yard mode. Then they eventually added the waypoint mode, which is cat's meow. Cool. He's getting ready to pull into Dillsboro. Just coming through the yard there. One thing that's nice about this being based on a real short line is the track arrangement makes sense. Once you figure out like a good way to do stuff, suddenly the track arrangement makes sense. There's probably even a better way to do this, but it worked. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff that's heading to Silva. Versus Tannery P3. I don't know which track that is. Oh, it's that one over there. Got it. But since I'm kind of winding down this particular railroad, like I did a whole video series on it. I want to get rid of all this switching because it's almost a full-time job. I don't want this to be a full-time job. I want it to just be something I can pick up and do some stuff once in a while I wait for the maintenance away update. Then I will start a new video series from scratch. We'll start all over and we'll be playing all that cool stuff. All right, now these guys can finally go back over here. We're done carrying them around. Like a road engine. Could use some refreshment. I think I'll leave it there. We're not really going to necessarily use it much anymore since we're not pulling cars back and forth. Well, actually, no, I take that back. The sawmill does get stuff from Silva. We just won't have all this stuff to deal with. All right, you're good. Knock you loose. Get you headed this direction. Probably tell you just to come all the way over here. It'll be good. You'll figure it out. Yeah, coming back through here. Anytime you're not sure, just hit your tab key. It'll show you where the automatic engineer is headed. I wish the mouse cursor would disappear after a few seconds. I have to remember to move it out of the way. I'm trying to get all cinematic. Here we go. Number 1 is headed to Silva. Then we'll have to, once all the passengers are off, in the evening I usually turn the passenger train here on the Silva Y. Then it'll be ready to head out in the morning. Once I get these dropped off, I should check in on the sawmill, see how the processing is going. All right, now that we're back over here, I'm just going to double check. Yep, we are bringing them to the right place. I'm going to say bring those here. Should figure that out. I guess there's a little more room back here than I thought. You might be able to squeeze one more car on here, but it'd be tight. Tracks cost money, which has cost even more. These railroads didn't build it unless they had to. Never have too many screenshots. All right, we've got you unhooked. Here's the passenger train. Signaling for the crossing. So I need you to come back out of here. Let's get you over here at least. Actually, no. Why don't you come here? Because I need to get... No, you need to be on the other side of that, don't you? I gotta remember the track arrangement here. We need you to come down here. And I could pull this guy out. He needs to go to Silva. We'll pull this guy out. We'll run around. We need to get these guys shoved up into there. These can actually get sold. Don't need them anymore. Yeah, that's silver paperboard, which I've canceled the contract for. Silva. Set you there. Oh, right. You need some stuff before you can do that. All right, release the handbrake and grab some air. Meanwhile, back at the wrench. We can shove those in. Eventually take all these to the Silva. Yeah, that'll do. Double check. Yeah, that goes back in. Beautiful. Let's go see what's going on over here. Cool. So they are offloading. Almost all the passengers are off. Got a decent amount of coal and water. All right, all passengers have departed. So let's get number one turned on the Y. So we need 1, 2, 3, an engine, something like there. Limit him to 25 since he's not screaming down the main line with the passenger train at the moment. So we'll work on getting him turned while we're also working on this guy. Check we're in the right spot. Back out and grab him. When we get over here, we got that guy coming out. I don't know if I need to, I don't know if I'll worry about that too much. I might just wait till all these are unloaded and then send them to the interchange. It's a lot of switching for not much gain. Also, I don't know what happens tomorrow when the contract's terminated. If these, like, these are not going to be unloaded all the way, I wouldn't think, tomorrow. Do they just get sent back to the Silva? I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I terminated a contract. Okay, these guys need to get shoved over there, so we want to come back and get on the... We want to hook up to that. Right there. Shouldn't be anything in our way. Except for those. Forgot about those. Those are in our way. Okay, well, I'll just tell them to hook onto those. That will work. Oh, I got these guys that need to go over there, don't I? That's exciting. So I kind of need to pull that in here and run around it. Get on this side of it. Oh, that's going to paperboard too. I could just ignore these since we're terminating the contract. I think that would also be acceptable. This could be a lot of switching here. It'd be kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, we got one car here, so that guy up. Yeah, I didn't notice that because they're both red. Didn't notice that this guy is not going to silver. It's going to silver paperboard, and it's full of salt. Fun. We need to get out here to you guys. Get them out of the way. And we can start dealing with this stuff. Is there anything else in here? Just silver paperboard. And then you guys are also going to paperboard. You're just going to a different track on paperboard. So you're going over there. And then where was the S1? S1 is that one. So they're both going over to that side of the industry. So what I need to do is get this car down here. Yep. That's what I need to do. But I've got too much other stuff in the way. So I'm just going to come grab these. I'm going to come grab onto here. That'll work. While you're doing that, let's go grab the passenger train. It was waiting over here on the Y, and I did pull up enough, so that is good. We'll say, come over here. I want to get you out of the way before I start doing any switching over here. I just want to make sure it comes down the right leg of the Y before I tell it to go anywhere else. So now that it's headed there, I can say, okay, come over here. Then you have a clear shot to get back over here to the depot. And then, if I remember right, pretty much stop here by this sign. We'll tell him to come over here. That should be him sorted out. He can make his way over there. And we'll get back on board with number 6. I was looking for that good thumbnail image. We've got plenty of coal and water, so I'll grab these cars. We'll shove the end ones back in there, and then we're going to try to sort out the Silva mess down here. We're going to, yeah, that one by there, off that end. Wait, number 1 messed up. What are you doing? Oh, you piece of junk. I apparently confused him. Nope. Go back over there. I didn't let him get far enough down through here, I guess, before I told him to go somewhere else. That's the tricky thing with Wise. Alright, we'll let you undo yourself. Glad I realized. I'm like, wait, he should be over here. Where did he go? Alright, no handbrake. So these guys need to come all the way over here. We can tell number 6 to go here. He should, in theory, figure it out. Like he is. Unlike number 1, who couldn't seem to get it figured out. Alright, I think 1's past there, so let's give him a waypoint of here. Don't think you can mess that up too bad. Come here on this leg of the Y. And we'll go from there. And yes, I did mean to go check on the sawmill. Let's bop up there real quick. And yeah, it hasn't processed all those logs yet, so it's still chugging away. I don't know if he'll even get through all those today or not. Like I said at the beginning, I'm terminating all these contracts. So all we're dealing with as we close out this particular save is the sawmill. All right, you're chug-a-lugging along. How's number 1 passenger train looking? You're coming through there. Excellent. Let's get you out onto here. I tell you to go there, that doesn't mess you up, does it? No. Okay, good. Once he's on this track, then I can tell him to go over to the station, and I don't think he'll get confused again. It's a process. Alright, I need to figure out where I'm going with you. Come over here. So, all of these are still interchange, right? We have no more pickups. Excellent. So, I want you to do is come here. Yeah, number 6 is going to be stuck. I need to run around this. Oh no, I forgot. I was... Duh. Stop. Forgot to drop those cars off. Got ahead of myself. Forgot he was coming over here. I messed him up. I do occasionally mess things up when I'm doing lots of stuff at the same time. It happens. Alright, you need to come over here. Now you can come over here and stop by the sign. Beautiful. No more confusion. I should switch. There he goes. Rolling on through. I just noticed that says 15 there. Well, if I ever saw that before. Anywho, I don't need to bring all this stuff with me. So it's kind of silly to do so. Should have left that down there on the track. So what I can do is drop these off, use this run around here to get on the other end of this empty set, hook that on there, and then shove everything into the interchange. And it'll all be great. I don't know why I was insisting on do it the bad way. You ever tried to make a video before while solving switching puzzles? Give it a whirl. Not as easy as it looks. Number 6 is getting a workout today. Yeah, we're already at an hour-long video. Well, maybe we'll just make a long one. I do want to go to the next day and see what happens with the contracts. And we're almost to the point where we can do that. All right, you're in the catchment area. You're not the right engine. On some handbrakes, get you turned off. You drive down to here, and I'll run around. And I think I'm just going to ignore these cars. Since I'm terminating the contract. I don't know if I get penalized for that. I don't necessarily care that much. Although I do have this run around track clear now. We pulled those out, so yeah, I guess I could deliver them like I'm supposed to. Which car is it? That one and those. Yeah, I'd have to push those down, and I can. Brother, that's because it's going to be more. It's doable. It's just more work. All right, fine. We'll do it the right way. Handbrake on. Get you off of there. And I should be able to just tell him, come around here and park on. Hook onto that. We'll figure it out. Beautiful. Number 1 is ready to go. He's all ready to go in the morning. Excellent. Set back for full speed, so he's ready to go. And then yeah, we're going to need to pick up coal and water probably in East Whittier. If not Dillsboro. Could send him all the way down to Dillsboro to get filled up. It's a little bit of a run. Wow, we've got 167 passengers waiting. Maybe we should make another. Maybe we should make an evening run. It's a lot of passengers just sitting there, willing to pay me money. Yeah, I don't want to get too involved. All right, back over to number 6. Number 6, kind of the star of the show tonight. Doing all the heavy lifting. It's a little bit of wheel squeak there to add some ambience. Very cool. Actually hear the bell now. cool as you can see like the brakes releasing and the valve trains moving and everything. Really neat. A lot of cool detail in Railroader. We'll grab those, hook onto that. I'm going to shove that all down there. And what I can do, so these guys are going to paperboard. I can use this clear track. Woo! So I can pop those two cars on here, pop these Silva stuff onto one of these two tracks, pop that other drop off onto there, pop the rest of the setup of the Silva stuff onto here, and then pull those deliveries back out. Take them over to the track over here, run around them, and deliver them. That's doable. A little bit of extra work. We might end up making a 90-minute video. You guys like trains, right? If you're still here, you're totally on board with that. If you're not on board with that, you left a long time ago. That's not what I wanted. You were the last car. We'll release you. All right, Al, bring her on down here. Do a little ride along. Looking good, Al. It'll get dark on us. Okay, come on down here. And go ahead and set those two cars. We're going to have 3 cars near, so set them out there. Have room to work with. Number 1 arrived at waypoint. Yes, indeed it did. All right, I hear him easing off on the throttle. Oh, look at that lean as it came around the corner. That's pretty cool. Sometimes it's good to zoom in, take in all the little details. All right, how much room have I got? Got some room here, so let's tack you onto these cars. Switching down here, so I'll limit him to 10 so he doesn't get too carried away. Saves on some braking. just looking for handbrakes on there. Let's release all those. And the wheels don't animate until they're like really close to the camera. Okay, and then the car we need is right there. So we could actually just, yeah, pull it off right now. That works. I want a handbrake. Bring you over here. That worked out nicely. And everything else is going on the interchange, so we're good there. We'll actually do we'll do a push. Let me have you bring. We'll push that onto the track just for something fun. So we want to throw you. You're already thrown. All right, get here in first person. Set you to manual mode. Independent on, we're going to release those brakes. What I want to do is pop that, pull the pin, bleed the brakes on this guy, and we're gonna push him. We're gonna want to go forward. I think, right? Yeah, making sure. And then I want to hop up onto here. But that's still pulled. We'll push that on ahead of us. Yeah, a little aggressive on the brakes. I forgot how sensitive they are. I should just roll on down there and hook onto those other cars. There we go. Where'd it hit? Beauty. Okay, we'll knock off that handbrake, and we just need to shove this all in. Actually, I didn't look and see. For that, just in case. I don't know if we're gonna. Yeah, we're probably gonna be a little over, aren't we? Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I keep forgetting how incredibly sensitive the brakes are. You used to run 8 or something, and you come in here and it's like, whoa. Mega braking. There we go. Couple handbrakes. Pop that open, and we're good to go. I'm going to let Al take back over. He's a better engineer than I am. And we'll hook on to here. Come on down, Al. And yeah, we had plenty of room. No problem. Southern. Lace that up. Here we go. All right, get on out of here, Al. Headed down the line. So I need you to come over. Out here. We'll run around these guys. All right, this video is getting pretty long. I'm going to put a cut in here while he runs over to here. I'm going to run around the cars, and then we'll finish out by spotting them over here where they need to go. And just like that, here we are. That was easy. All right, we're going to knock off that handbrake. I didn't really need air with 3 cars, but we'll see. That one is full of salt. So this one goes up there on that track. Sure we have enough room for that. We're going to find out. So we're going to limit the speed to 15 since we're switching. And we're going to come on up here. Now this one needs to come out. So what I might want to do is actually hook onto this one. I can pull that one out and do a little switcheroo. Alternatively, I could set out here and then grab that. Switch. Different ways to do things. I think maybe this will be fewer moves. Nope, 10 is fine. And that'll do. Good enough. All right. Pop you out. Now you can come over here and hook onto this guy. Then we'll hook onto that guy. So he's coming out. The other guys are staying. We don't have enough room to put it in there, really. There's actually different spotting places here. R1A and R1B. I assume they'll have some building or infrastructure of some type here at some point, maybe. But you can always either hover over the train symbol thingy. You can also go to the locations. If you hover over these, it'll show you where they all are. All right, let's knock off the handbrake. We don't need air just to grab these, so we're not going to bother pumping up those cars. Are you hooked up? You are indeed hooked up to this guy, so we'll put its handbrake on. Here we go, and now we can go, say, grab this one, shove it back in there. We'll set this guy over here, put the oil tanker back in place, then we could be on our way. Putting these 2 cars in. We can leave that single car we're pulling out. You just leave it like here, even. Over here we've got these two are coming out. So yeah, it actually probably makes sense to put the silver interchange car here. We can pull those out and shove all the interchange cars together and then put these back in over in there. The S1 is all one big happy drop-off point. All right, you can go over here. So a lot of back and forth, and that's the game, is doing that in as few moves as possible. And there's always different ways to do it. I'm probably not doing it the best way. If you want to know the best way of doing anything, just check YouTube comments. They know everything. A bit of a lighting glitch going on there. You know that shadow doesn't work at certain angles. I'm really looking forward to the maintenance away update. That should be interesting. Kind of adds a whole new dimension to it. Hey, we got paid. Alright. Unhook you. I gotta get this oil tanker back in place, so we'll temporarily set this car over here. Just for ease. Actually, you know what? Fewer moves, let's set it over here. No, we don't have to go back and get it. We can just go back and shove it. A little longer run time, but less start stopping. Car's still almost half full. Third at least. It'll do. Okay, now we can put you back over here-ish. Yeah, right in there. Usually overruns a little bit, so it doesn't have to be exact. Then we just have to shove this over to here. Pull those out, shove those on, put everything back on there, and we're golden. We didn't have to run around the interchange cars. But no biggie. Make it in there far enough? Yeah, sure. Plenty of room. Just ignore that minor little bit of clipping. Plenty of room. No pieces flying off, it's fine. If you're enjoying this extra long video and you made it this far, give me a pickle in the comments and nobody will know what the heck you're talking about. Except for the elite few. Alright, we nailed that pretty much. So that. By the handbrake. Drunkenly move the camera out here. This thing is just sipping on the coal and water. It's Got plenty. Am I still in the seat? I am. Whee! Stick your head at the window and watch the drivers roll. I had the zoomed out view. Oops. Just pretend like Al's sitting over there driving, moving the controls. Be a real brakeman / conductor. You have indeed arrived at your waypoint. Good job. We don't really need to lace this up. We just need to throw the handbrake off. It's all the way up there. Can I get up there? Oh, I can get up there. Look at that. We'll do this one actually legit. All right, Al. Go back to about there. Whoa. Easy start. Perfectly legit. I'm a master railroader. Not quite on the walking board there. All right, about 10 feet, Al. Slow her down. It'll do. Bonk. Hold the pin. You're good to go, Al. Go over there and hook onto that boxcar. And couple up. I don't know if I got that message completely clear to you. I want to couple onto that. Paperboard, and then these two are going to the interchange. Roger, roger. Three cars. Two cars. One car. 10 foot. 3 foot. That'll do. Little Al gets her done. And how much weight we got here? That's a decent amount of weight. I'm going to go ahead and give you some air. All right, Al, we need to come on back and connect to... I know, some people are going to get really triggered on me saying come on back. We need to come on back and hook onto this boxcar. Right over here. I timed that just right and got no smoke. It's not my intention. Alright, in theory, this shouldn't go anywhere. This is another way to play. You can do it all in first person, interact with everything. Be on the non-main light side here. All right, Al, 2 cars. 1 car. Slow her down 10 feet. 3 feet. That'll do. And we need to push her on down about a half car length. Make sure we clear. No, even a little further than that. I had my cars mixed up. There you go. That'll do. Double check my paperwork. All right. Looks good, Al. We need to just shove those 3 cars on into the spur here. Bring her down to about there. The middle mouse click, it switches between FOVs. Sometimes I accidentally hit that. Toot, 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 here he comes. And that'll wrap it up. You just have to get those back to the exchange. For the interchange. Alright, looking good, Al. That'll do. Slow her down. We'll get too carried away. We are golden. Okay, Al. Come back out and we'll hook onto these. Need to run them around and shove them on down to the interchange. Looking good. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out for an extra long Railroader video. Hope you enjoyed it. I might see you again before the maintenance of way update. I'm not sure. Depends on how long that takes. I've been getting the Railroader itch lately, so thought I'd hop on and just do some work on the railroad. Thanks for watching as always, and take care.